Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So if you're watching this, you're probably considering law school and or a single parent. If so, I wanted to provide 5 major tips that you should consider and also be aware of before starting law school. I don't want to discourage anybody from going to law school. I just feel as if I jumped into it pretty blindly and I would have been able to prepare myself a lot better had I known some of these things that I'm going to share with you. So let's jump right in. When I first started law school, my 2 children were 4 and 7. In the midst of that, I was also going through a divorce, so I was physically and emotionally just kind of all over the place. And I'll never forget the night that I pulled out a map and I sat down with my kids and I just said, if you guys could go anywhere in the world, where would you want to go? And after kind of just, joking and laughing along with them, we finally narrowed it down to Hawaii. And I said, okay, if you guys can let mom really focus and be determined and disciplined on this, law school thing, then I promise you someday mom's gonna make enough money to be able to take you guys on the best vacation to Hawaii. Conversations like that over the years allowed all 3 of us to kind of jointly have this goal in mind and to kind of feel as if it was worth something, that, doing all of this and making all of these sacrifices would be worth it in the end. So it really helped, me and my kids get through it together and to just kind of stay positive. Of course, there were times where, it was much harder than others, but I definitely think that those conversations were worthwhile. I share this story with you guys because going to law school as a parent is really, really hard. And I think that we're really hard on ourselves just in general as parents, overall, even without law school. And so, there are going to be times where you're going to feel like you're the worst parent in the world because you can't be there for every single basketball game. Sometimes you have to shortchange your child when it comes to helping them with their homework because you have to focus on your own. There's going to be times where you are just too lazy to make, this grandiose dinner or whatever. You may just want to, throw some Easy Mac on the stove and you feel bad about that. But it's important to remember that all of these sacrifices that you're making, they are for a greater purpose. They're so that your children can have a better life. So you could possibly put them through private school. So you could possibly take them on vacations, whatever the case may be. It is for something greater. And also your children or child are watching you. They're watching all of the hard work that you are putting into this and it's building something within them. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever lose sight of what is important and why you're actually wanting to go to law school as a parent. Okay, so most parents don't have the luxury of not working. If you do, great, good for you, bravo. Take advantage of that. But for most of us, we actually have to work. So working while going to law school is a feat all of in itself, but then you want to add in that you're a parent and you're having to manage a household and you're having to do all of these things. It is a lot. So take it from me, it can be done, but there is something that you should consider. You want to make sure that whoever you are working for understands that you are committed to law school first and foremost. If they don't support you in your journey to, get through law school, then you have to find a new job. Period. There's no other way around it. You have to find an employer that is behind you and supports you 100%. Now, some of you probably may have just rolled your eyes, like it's not that easy to just quit your job. Yes, it is. There are thousands of jobs available. And, when you're going through law school, it's important to remember that more than likely the job that you have is temporary. It's not going to be the firm that you're going to be working at in the end. It's not going to be, your career path more than likely. It's probably just some job at Sam's Club or Target or something like that. So it's just a way to make money. It's a stepping stone, and there are plenty of places to make money. So if the job that you're at is not letting you focus solely on law school, then you have to find something else. For example, if you're working at Sam's Club and you need to take a week off for midterms or finals, which is very likely, and they say, sorry, we can't do it, then You have to quit and find something else. You have to. Let me tell you, Sam's Club would fire you, find somebody else. If you died, they would replace you like that. Like it's nothing. So you need to have that same mindset going into your career and putting yourself and your goals first. If Sam's Club, Target, whatever is not willing to give you the time that you need to focus on the things that are going to help you in the long run, then you need to find a better employer. Most law firms actually will support law students because they understand what it's like to kind of go through the process. And most of them are even going to have mad respect for you if you're actually trying to raise a family and work and go to law school at the same time. So just remember, there are so many different ways to go about making money while you're in law school. You don't have to stick with an employer that doesn't support your goals and your journey and your path to getting through it. So make yourself the priority, make your goals priority, put yourself first. Oh my God, let me tell you guys how important self-awareness is. My biggest fear, going into law school, not even just being law school oriented, but public speaking in general, just speaking in front of large crowds. So, making this video is actually kind of challenging for me, but, we grow in success where we are not comfortable. So it's important to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. It's especially hard to speak publicly without notice in a classroom filled with intelligent people about stuff that you're also learning about too. So you feel like you maybe are putting yourself in a position where you sound dumb in front of a bunch of people. When I was in law school, I had so many panic attacks when I was called on in class, or I was asked to share my opinion or to elaborate on, certain law or the cases that we just read. And it's terrifying. Being aware of what you struggle with on a daily basis and knowing how it's going to be required of you in law school will be huge for you. If you know that you suck at time management, you can take the steps necessary before law school begins to help you with that, to prepare, get a schedule, get a planner, start writing things out, whatever it is that can help prepare you for success. That's what you need to do, and to do it before law school starts rather than in the midst of like midterms or finals is going to be better for you. If you are terrified about public speaking and you're aware of that now, there are so many like free like meetups, like Meetup app. I think it's an app where you can kind of go on there and meet local groups. There are places that will teach you how to do public speaking. You can take extra classes on public speaking, just things like that to help reduce the stress prior to getting to law school is key, because I'm sure without me even telling you guys, you already know that law school is an extremely stressful time in your life. Getting through it is extremely stressful. And if you can do whatever you can to help reduce some of that stress, do it. That is key. Being self-aware is a major asset that you can have, because it gives you the power to influence the outcome of situations, and it helps you reduce stress, like I said. And again, anything that helps reduce stress in law school is huge. Wow. I had no idea how much of a time commitment law school was. I literally envisioned myself as like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. I thought law school was going to be this fun experience where I'm in court and I get to prove that, Chutney didn't really get her perm, and that, she actually killed her dad. And I thought it was going to be totally different than what it was. But I was 100% wrong. If you're planning to go to law school and you're working and you're a parent, just understand that you're going to have really no time to do anything else. That's just really how it is. Of course, you want to make sure that you carve out some time so that you're not completely driving yourself crazy. It's very, very important to have time to just kind of rest and to just allow your mind to rest and, decompress some of the stress that's going on in your life. But for the most part, there's going to be no partying. There's going to be no more, going out to brunch and traveling and dating and all of those things that you used to do. Your primary focus now is school. It's getting through it and preparing yourself to be a lawyer, a great lawyer. It is a conscious decision that you have to make to be disciplined and to stay disciplined. Believe me, when I first started law school, I spent so many nights crying and feeling so alone, feeling like, oh my God, this was the worst decision that I made. I have no life. I have no friends. I have no time for my kids, for anything. I would have a lot of mental breakdowns, and I would spend so much emotion and energy kind of living through that. And I'm just going to tell you now that if you just accept it now, that it is a huge time commitment and it's going to involve a lot of your time, your energy, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache in the end. It is a lot. You will feel alone at times, but here's the deal. It'll be so worth it. Not just for yourself, but for your kids. It's going to benefit you, and you're going to feel at the end like you can do anything. Many of you can probably remember back to the days before you had kids and you used to have like a ton of friends and you would always get invited places. And then after you had kids, you had like maybe one friend that you could rely on and nobody invited you anywhere anymore. Law school is a very, very similar feeling. There are going to be a ton of people who support you in your journey. There's going to be a lot of friends that are cheering you on along the way. But you're also going to find that there are friends who don't understand the commitment. They don't understand why it is that you bail on every single, Sunday brunch invitation, or why, you have to flake at the last second. They don't understand that. They think that's rude, or whatever the case may be. And let me just tell you now that those people are the people that you need to cut out almost immediately. If they're worthy of having the conversation with and just sitting down and saying, hey, this is it, I'm dealing with this, I'm going through law school, it's a huge time commitment. If you think they're a person that's worthy of trying to figure it out with them, great. But otherwise, you need to surround yourself with people that have similar mindsets, people that understand that goals, business, your career, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in your future, take precedent over anything else. Your children take, priority over them, then that's what needs to happen. You have to cut those people out. I know that's hard because we form friendships, we form, relationships with people, going into law school or, going into any venture of your life. And you would hope that they would support you. But I've learned along the way that sometimes people are just brought into your life to teach you a valuable lesson at that time in your life, but they don't necessarily need to be there for the rest of your life. And again, if these people aren't supporting you in your journey as a parent trying to get through law school, then they don't really need to be around. Just remember that the goal is to be a successful law student so that one day you can be a badass lawyer, and you have to surround yourself with people that understand that and have a similar mindset. All right, guys, so those are the major points that I think that you should consider and be aware of prior to going into law school. I hope that they were helpful. If you want any other tips or you have any other questions, leave a comment down below. I'll see you in my next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.